everybody, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. We are dangerously close to episode 320, I think. And that's only 100 away from 420, so we are like weed number adjacent.
It's very dangerously close.
Not really, but I mean...
I don't know, 100 can pass by. Well,
you're not wrong, like... I can't believe we're already almost to another episode 69. Like, it's gonna be sometime early next year. I'm so scared. What kind of society will we be in by then, you know? What kind of questions will we get sent? How will things progress? I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm John, and I'm being joined this week by Elvie.
Yeah.
Just doing a two-person recording this week. It's been pretty hectic week, I would say. Just in general. LV, how have you been holding up?
I've been pretty good. I think I'm fine. But yeah, it gets heavy if you know, a lot of people have to weigh the fact of either staying oblivious, but then, you know, you won't be in the know about some things, and then choosing to stay informed, but then a lot of stuff you hear might be mostly negative. You know, of course there's like positive things, but a lot of the stuff you'll hear is negative, and it's a tricky thing, right? It's a tricky thing. There was a lot of heavy stuff this week, so definitely take care of yourself. It's understandable if you just like, you know, kind of want to be in a bubble and don't want to think about those things right now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one big topic, at least regarding video games. Of course, there's the usual events that are occurring outside of video games. Of course, we still have to continue to support the Black Lives Matter movement as well we should. And you know, there's just a lot of pushback from the powers that be against the general public that you know that should be paid attention to. But I think as a game website, it would behoove us to focus on the events that have been transpiring in the games industry, specifically the continued conversation and outing of sexual harassers, sexual abusers in the games industry. And this past week was very specifically about the fighting game community. I'm trying to think of like what the like full on catalyst for this was. I guess it might be. I mean, you know, there were some people talking about fighting game individuals when things were kind of starting a bit ago with like Chris Avallone and all that. But I feel like the big one that started this was Mike Z, one of the directors, the gameplay director of Skullgirls, and also just like a higher up at Lab Zero. It was, look, I don't mean to denigrate harassment of any kind, but I will just say, good God, those DMs, like, holy shit, dude. Like, he's a fucking scuzz, and they should get rid of him, but also, bro.
They're really embarrassing.
Really embarrassing, like, Look, obviously you should not be approaching women in a way that is just like, hey, you know, you don't know me, I don't know you, I'm gonna just treat you like a sex object. Of course, that's not something you should do. However, you look at how Mike Z was talking to people, and you just think, okay, you know what, I'm not that bad. You know, it's very much like okay, you know, I'm probably fine when I'm trying to talk to somebody I'm interested in, because, oh boy, you've seen that, that screenshot of the, like, person doing some, like, weird, like, roleplay thing with himself, like, hyping himself up to talk to a lady on Facebook.
Third person.
Yeah. He does that. It's not good. It's really not good. So, yeah, don't harass women, but also, especially don't harass women like that.
Yeah, I think I want to add on to that I think some people are trying to still excuse it in a way, or, you know, is saying like, oh, look at that, he's just socially awkward. Like, but that doesn't, you know, it takes another layer of agency to actually go out of your way to talk to someone like that, like have a full-on conversation. There's a degree of difference between social awkwardness and then really going in on that. And there's been other accounts of people experiencing that from him, whether I think even in the work environment, nonetheless. And regardless of and there's also like another issue where the biggest post sharing that the person in question, she herself kind of has like said problematic things and might have questionable things, but like that doesn't negate the fact that what he did is also wrong. There are still other people who are like kind of not in that bubble who are just as innocent and like have been victimized like that. And it's such a huge problem too, where as many times as conventions would be like cosplay is not consent. It's really shitty that just because someone is starting like like what it seemed like in that specific conversation, it seemed like the topic itself was like talking about sexual themes and stuff, but that doesn't mean that's an open gateway for you to kind of start implying that that's a leeway for you to start like flirting with someone. That's like totally different thing. Like you're trying to talk about something on a different level there. Just because someone's career revolves around dressing sexily does not mean that's opening up the floodgate for you to objectify them in that way. They're doing that because they want to, and that's their right to, and that's not consent. That needs to be repeated, unfortunately. So again, what he did is not professional, and he's in a position. Yeah, again, he's and people want to like play around like, oh, he's not really that influential. Like, no, he's still in a position of power in which he is still like decently influential. He has credits to like a major game, a popular game,
2 major games. Yeah,
he is literally
Indivisible.
He's literally some sort of directing or developing lead. So like that's an issue, and as an adult, he should know better. And as an adult, maybe he should not be talking in third person, self role playing with himself and talking like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Whenever Skullgirl's updated, like, look, Mike Z has been a head ass for a long, long time. Like, that dude has been just a jerk to people online, and it was just like, a lot of people just put up with him because he was the dude in charge of Skullgirls. He was the one handling the balance patches. He was the one making the game run. And it's like, it's easy to forget that there's so many other people working on that game, and there's probably a bunch of other gameplay designers that weren't him that did just as much, if not more work. It's a huge shame, and hopefully because they haven't said anything publicly about him yet. There was a post, Lab Zero just like tweeted out, we're aware of what is up with Mike Z, we'll let you know soon. There hasn't been anything specific, but I'm sure there's legal recourse and all that to have to go through. So there was that, but after that, there were a lot more people coming out with stories of their own sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual abuse from folks in the fighting game community. And I will be honest, as someone who doesn't know a lot of those people, I can't really state the gravity of it all. Obviously, no matter what, it is horrible that anyone is abusing anyone, but I don't know the different names of people. I don't know if they're really, really major players in the community. There were some Smash Bros players. There's a lot of Smash Bros players that I recognized. But I don't want to go too far into just naming a bunch of names. I guess if you want to look into it, there are a lot of resources talking about people's about specific people. But the most likely biggest name that I will be specific about is probably straight up one of the leaders of the fighting game community. The person in charge of Evo, Mr. Wizard, Joey Cuellar, I want to say is how you say his last name, was called out for a lot of really, really inappropriate stuff that he did. It was... The stories that were being told were from a good while ago. They are still very, very gross, and I did see some other folks bring up some perhaps more recent things that he did. I don't know if I want to be too specific, but he was very much going after underage boys, and they have shut down Evo Online after a bunch of the games had pulled out. like Mortal Kombat and them's fighting herds and a bunch of other, like Street Fighter, they all pulled out from EVO Online, and then eventually they just said, yeah, he is being removed, and he is being replaced by, let me look at the name of the individual. It is Tony Cannon, who works at Riot, and specifically was he was working on that what's that game called? That game with the robots that people really liked. It's like Rising Aether or something like that. I don't remember. Rising Thunder, maybe. I can't remember. But that was that game that got bought by Riot, and that team is now working on the League of Legends fighting game. And so he also made GGPO, which is like the fighting game netcode of choice. So this isn't just some rando guy. This guy has been around in the industry for a really long time, being put in charge of EVO. That's probably for the best. But it's just, the fact is that guy was, like a figurehead in the fighting game community for ever, like since its inception, and he was using that position to prey on underage boys, and that's just that's disgusting. So it's at the very least heartening to see that the people that are good people in the fighting game community are not standing for it, and there has already been discussion going on about like how these events can be properly handled. Like, I saw some fighting game tournament organizers have been setting up like anonymous tip like accounts and all that, so to be like, hey, if something bad happens, you can send us like any kind of information about it, and we can handle it without causing a big stir, without you having to talk about anything publicly. And that seems smart, to be that especially seems smart for communities that don't want to have to handle police as well. Like, since today there's so many people standing up against policing, security guards are kind of a similar thing, and so there are people that don't want to just get security involved and not have anything settled. So actually handling things in the community, handling it by ostracizing those individuals that will do abuse and banning them from tournaments and keeping them away from those that they would harm, that sounds like the right thing to do. So leadership does need to step up, which seems like it to be the case is happening, and people just need to not be awful to each other and treat each other like human beings. And it's hard, but I think what's going on right now is necessary. It is necessary to get rid of these people and then to take steps to protect those that would be hurt by people like those.
Yeah, it's surprising how immediate the reaction was to all this. It was just like a quick delusion of like one publisher from the next saying like, no, we don't want to partake in this, and that's pretty great. That's pretty promising. Like it should be like a hard line saying that we cannot tolerate this. We cannot just linger on this and just wait for things to roll in until it gets really bad, and this person will still be Yeah, and I think more shows in general should be especially with other outstains in terms of like other parts of the game industry too, when it comes to sexual harassment and like people in power and like being gross to others. But I've been seeing other shows too, like considering like this anonymous system where they're just mentioning names and giving accounts of like people that they don't want to see at their events, like basically saying like, hey, the show, like, please do not consider this guest because they're a creep, straight up, like, that's really a system I think like more conventions should consider, really. As is though conventions are really bad about taking feedback, or like just have so many layers of bureaucracy, especially in bigger ones. But I'm seeing smaller shows at least do that, and that's good, I think.
Yeah. So I guess that's the heavy conversation for this week. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's kind of tough to talk about on here. No, it seems like we are through the rough patch. Thank you all for listening, and again, hopefully these difficult times lead to better times. I hope that this goes from hurt to healing and to a better community. That is something that needs to happen, is that bad people need to be removed from a community to make it good. So yeah, that's the fighting game community right now. They are struggling, but they are starting to fix themselves a bit. Elvie.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about something that you've been playing recently?
Mm-hmm.
Please do.
Sure. So, finally, after 87 years, after 82 years, Xeno Alice comes out in the mobile games market. I think it came out this week or last week, I believe. Actually, yeah, when was this game even teased? Like, how long ago was it? Like, years ago? Not that long ago, I think, but it just felt like this was teased a good while ago, and it seemed like no end was in sight in terms of, is this actually coming out or not? And, like, it's a big deal because it's kind of, like, billed as, oh, yeah, this game has, like, Yototaro as a creative lead on it, so that was kind of, like, its main marketing hype for it. And Square is developing, Square has developed it. But it literally has, like, went through, like, 2 different publishers throughout the whole pending period until it came out. It
was supposed to come out, like, sometime last year, and then the publisher and the translator dropped it, and then it was just, like, dead silent until, like, a month or so ago.
It's not clear what happened there. I'm not sure what the details are of that, but it went from Nexon to now Pokelabo. So there's that. But it's still Nexon in, like, other countries. So, weird. So it's only Pokelabo, I think, in, like, the English-speaking regions. So really odd. But anyway, it's your standard, in the end, it's your standard kind of gacha game. You know, you roll and tap to get some cute girls. Well, not all of them are a girl, actually. But, like, you roll and tap to get some cute anime characters. And, it has no plot.
It has zero, so...
That's the biggest problem right now. It's like, what? There's no plot. It's just, yeah, go on. Do you have something to say about it? You've been playing, too.
All the characters are fairy tale characters, and yeah, I downloaded this as well. All the characters are fairy tale characters, but there's like 6 characters overall, and what you're rolling for is you roll for the different characters, but you're also rolling for classes. So, for example, at the start of the game, they let you pick one, and I just picked Alice, from Alice in Wonderland, and, you know, you start off with one class, but then you'll roll again, and it'll be like, oh, you get Pinocchio, a mage, or Cinderella swordswoman or something. I don't know exactly what the classes are, but it's like there's like there's only like 6 characters. Yeah. And it's weird. Yeah, you said there's no plot. The story seems to be that the different characters exist in this realm, whatever the fuck it is, because they don't say what it is.
It's not the realm itself, but your kind of hub is called the library. You know, it's a proper name. This is the library because it's themed around literature and these fairy tale characters who are coming to life, or like they exist in some real fashion for some reason. And they're like, it's not a death game, but there's this whole like theme around like, oh, they have to kill. I think what's going on here is there's this bigger dark magic thing going on where they have to like kill or meet a quota of like killing things in order to revive their author, and it's like a whole thing about where they kind of don't quite remember who they are, or they feel incomplete about who they are because their author has been. These are characters where their original authors, or like who actually originally created them, have been dead for so long. You know, like for people, like Alice in Wonderland, for instance, it's like, you know, everyone knows Lewis Carroll, and Lewis Carroll's like, you know, like, and that name at least, and they kind of you can identify who the actual man was using that name and stuff. But like, there's other characters like Princess Kaguya, who's like in Japanese myth for so long, we can't quite ascertain as to who actually created Princess Kaguya and stuff and conceived her. So there's this whole thing where they just are all on the exact same quest to revive their author. And yeah, there's really no setup besides that. Like, again, like I've said, it seems like they just have to meet a quota about killing, or like submitting to some sort of savagery where they have to kill and fight these monsters to do that. It's not clear what's going on here. And I think, and again, with my whole thing about dark magic being at play, like the only hint of that is that your like gacha rolling mechanic is called, it's not the mechanic itself, but the thing you have to go to is a grimoire. You have a grimoire, and that's how you're summoning these characters and pulling these characters. But what's most wretched about it is that it's framed that you have these two childlike marionettes that are just they have this wretched like audio like voice thing like.
Oh, they're bastards.
Yeah. Fucking bastards. They're awful. They're evil. They're definitely evil. But whenever they talk, there's this like wretched, like broken music box like sound that plays that's supposed to mimic their speech. It's awful. It is awful. And yeah, they're basically like kind of like troll characters. They're not quite transparent about what's going on, which I guess is the point. And it's a very Yoko Taro thing. But like, that's pretty much what it's going for. It's just very edgy in a silly way. I can't take it seriously. It's very edgy. Like the cutscenes are basically like very simple, like still artwork with all these captions animated in a very. It's just very silly. I don't know. But again, that's just the premise. Like there's nothing else really going on here, and it's like it's very hard to have a strong incentive to move forward because it's not that interesting to me. Again, everyone seems to have the same motivation, and there isn't that much else. It's fully voice acted, which is impressive. But yeah, there's not a lot going for it, to be honest.
Here, I just started up. I just started up chapter 2 of Alice's story, and it just says she could hear the strange doll's voices. Kee hee hee. Oh, this is wonderful. She's a slave to it, you know. She thinks her author will save her. Isn't she precious? It's true. I am a slave, but I refuse to wander this void without answers. That is why I fight. Even if my wish is a set of unbreakable shackles, a monstrous thing that binds me, traps me. Like, alright. And then you just go into the game, and it's like... It's really strange. Like, you play with other people online. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like 5v whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I just have it on auto mode, so I don't have to look at
it's a simple, like, tapping combat thing where you just tap, and then it kind of, like, auto-plays anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot going for it, so it's like, okay, it's just a standard gacha game, if not a little cheaper than that.
I don't know. I got this because it was hyped up. People were like, Yoko Taro wrote it. He must have wrote this in like half an hour over a lunch break or something.
Why not? Like good for him. If he's getting income out of this, good for him, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, fucking
gacha games are like in the market. He kind of knew what was going on here.
Yeah, he did this. He did fucking
he did stuff for Final Fantasy, I think.
Yeah, he did the Final Fantasy 14 story the Nier stuff in Final Fantasy 14. The fucking little Cupid things are teasing me right now. It looks like we can't believe you. Alice can't believe them. Yeah, that's all right.
I'll read one more thing here. So Red Riding Hood seems to be the most twisted out of all of them. Based on this, she seems to be enjoying the murder. So this is what one of her scenes says. Red Riding Hood knew it well. She smelled blood. So blood's in. So again, to emphasize, you really need to see this because like some of the words are just like bolded and like large. Yeah. It's really funny. Red Riding Hood knew it well. She smelled blood, the deafening crack of brutality, the thrilling lash of pain. Oh my god, I love it so much. More bleeding, more wounding, more screaming. Please, oh pretty, please, please. She needed her author's help for reviving and meant she could keep killing. I don't know, she's a twisted girl.
She's fucked up.
I know, effed up. They're all effed up. So I don't know. I don't have much interest in the game. Like if I'm gonna pop in, like just playing it once in a while, at some point I feel like I'm just gonna lose interest very quickly. You know, it's just in general, like gacha games are not really my thing. So I was just curious about it. But that's that. Yeah. That's our take on this game. So if you're looking forward to it, I don't know, just see for it for yourself. I personally feel like there's not much going on for it, really.
Yeah, there were some interviews with Yoko Taro about this game, and he straight up was just like, yeah, we use the fairy tale characters because they're all public domain, so we didn't have to pay for them, and, we just made this for, like, he was basically just saying that he made this on the cheap, and, whatever, I get it, bro. I don't know, I think he said that maybe they might actually be adding story later, so I don't know, it might have been some kind of, like, like, maybe they just couldn't afford to write a big long story when the game first came out, and then maybe it got bigger, so then they eventually got the money to do so, and now they're still translating it. I don't know. I mean, people seem to really like it. Or I saw some people who could, like, read Japanese, or maybe just were into the Japanese gotchas, like, we're getting more and more into it as time went on. So,
that's good if there's, like, actually something more interesting that's coming up, but...
Yeah.
In this beginning part, it's like, yeah, I'm not that into gacha to, like, string it, to, like, like, linger on it, and people wouldn't wait for it. So...
That's that. I guess I'll talk about something that I played this week, because I've been mostly playing. I haven't really been playing anything new. I stopped in again with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I still need to finish that. But I guess the newest thing that I could talk about is that Min Min came out for Smash Brothers, and she is super fun. Definitely one of the better DLC characters. Talked a bit about how she plays last week, about how she, her special moves are based around, or like, instead of having regular moves, each button controls one of her arms. So, her A attacks are, I think, her left arm, or no, I don't remember, but it's one or the other. The A is the one arm, and that is always her dragon arm. And then the other arm is, it can be a dragon arm, or you can swap it to, like, it's like a kind of like a throwing star, like a top kind of thing. It looks like a top. And then there's another one that's just like this big electrified ball that is like super heavy. And that's just like a big heavy attack. And that's her down special. She swaps between those three. And she's very different. And that is something that I respect a ton from Sakurai and the team, that they're trying something new all the time with these characters. And, you look at someone like Hero, where he had the RPG pop-up menu, you got Banjo and Kazooie, and there's just, they incorporate so many things from their game, and, even Joker with, like, the meter that fills up that he can, summon his persona.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Is that, like, how the characters control an arms itself? Like, the arms are, like, two separate entities in a way, and they're treated out? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like they're really respecting where these characters came from, and they're kind of really incorporating, like, those sort of in-jokes in, and that's really nice. They're not just, like, importing them. They're actually, like, thinking about, like, oh, yeah, like, they're representing this game. Let's put in something here that actually reminds people who know this game that this is what this is, right? And that's right. Really clever. Yeah.
And she's just a lot of fun. She's a pretty simple character in that, it's just her arms, but she can stretch those arms very far. So her whole thing is basically playing around with the spacing. Like, she has to figure out where you're going to be when she's launching her arm, because she can reach you, but you can get out of there. So, as a Min-Min player, you have to balance where your opponent's going to be, where your arm is going to be, because then your opponent can just dodge it and then attack you before your arm retracts back in. It's a game of cat and mouse, very much so. And I just like it a lot. I love playing as her. She's very, very fun. A lot of great new music, like all the ARMS music is fantastic. They only remixed like 2 of the songs, and it's specifically like Min Min's theme and like the main theme of ARMS that they remixed, but they didn't really have to remix the rest of that soundtrack because it's already really great. But no, she's a great addition to Smash Brothers, and I am of course looking forward to more characters in the future because we got 5 more from this DLC pack.
That's a lot.
Who knows what'll happen after that? Yeah. Is there any other news you want to discuss?
News? Oh, yeah. So Apple Arcade. So that was like a big deal, like, last year, right? Was it last year or was it even the year before? At this point in time is a blur, right?
It was last year.
Yeah, last year. That was like a big deal in terms of like people discussing, oh, this, like, is this a good idea or not? Or, like, other people on the other side of the argument saying, like, no, this is actually good for indie games. But now, Apple is kind of, like, just now canceling a bunch of projects that are supposed to be in development or were supposed to be coming out soon because they decided to pivot to a different business plan. And so much for that. And that new business plan basically is pivoting to quote unquote engagement. And what they mean by that is that they are now want to focus on the idea of microtransactions or subscription based model games. So basically what's been going on with the sort of stuff that, a big issue is that they feel like people have not, or like current players and people who use Apple Arcade have not been sticking around. They haven't been kind of like, interest has been dying down for it. And they feel like with that, they need to pivot towards something that will keep, kind of the money flowing instead. So, so that kind of threw. So like a big problem nowadays is that throws out a lot of projects out the window. Like a lot of them are now canceled. Maybe I kind of have to look into exactly who might be affected and whatnot. But in doing this, that basically a lot of those developers that were in contract with this kind of are losing money. And I think there was another piece talking about like, this might potentially like shut down some teams that were working on something because now like now their project's canceled and now they're not going to get Apple money to like help fund that. So that sucks. So this is kind of like a pending thing. But yeah, I'm not sure what titles are going to be specifically affected by this. I didn't check, or like which studios might be unfortunately affected by this, but yeah, that kind of sucks. It sucks. Where like, oh, this seems, it's always a tricky thing, right? It's always a tricky thing where like, oh yeah, like I could sell my, like I can, especially for an indie dev or like an indie team, I could sell my game to this thing because there's better security for me and better PR and like visibility if I sell it to this entity. But at the same time, there's that cost of like you kind of lose your rights to it in a way. Yeah. Like if like this the case in this example, and I and this kind of makes me think again about like there hasn't been really Stadia news, but like hey, honestly, has there been really, to be honest, for Stadia? But I also think about like projects under Google, and like Google has been really bad about like shutting down things just randomly, like when things go ARIA, and like who knows what's going on with Stadia. But I feel like there's also certain small titles too that were specifically tied to Stadia, and who knows where they're going to go after that when Stadia inevitably will go under. We know this. Like Stadia is not going to go anywhere. So those people who are just Stadia like bound, like what are they going to do now? Like how are they going to pivot now to a different platform and get their game out there? So yeah, this not great.
No.
Yeah, so like a bunch of contract. Yeah, again, long story short, Apple Arcade is deciding to like pivot to a new strategy in terms of figuring out their subscription model. So now a bunch of contracts for games that were under them are canceled, and a lot of those projects are now just canceled, and who knows where they're going to go with that. So yeah, not great.
That is a shame. I mean, have there been any specific developers talking about what they are planning on doing with this, or I haven't
fully researched into that yet, but yeah, I that's definitely something to look into. But yeah, that's just something I know in a broader sense.
Right.
Yeah, but it's definitely like hurting some of the teams that were under those contracts. So.
All right. Let's see here. Is there something? Oh boy, I'm just looking at all this information and I'm just like, all of this is either bad news or it's just lame. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could just kind of rush through a couple of these because, they're just kind of dumb, but not really interesting, I guess. Like here, for example, Hyperscape is Ubisoft's new first-person shooter battle royale game.
Places are still making battle royale.
Yeah, someone's gotta, except they don't. They
gotta keep the trade going.
They don't have to. Nope.
Why can't they just make another gacha game like everyone else?
Yeah, come on, be normal, jeez. Come on. I don't know. I mean, people are still playing those newer ones. I don't think I would call Valorant a battle royale, but it seems like there's a good amount of stuff. There's a
decent number of people playing it. Yeah.
There's more of these games that people are enjoying. I don't know. It just looks so boring. There's nothing like special about the art design or anything like that. It just whatever. People will probably like it though. There will be an audience. There will be an audience. There's always an audience, and there will be one for this. In the latest news of a TV show that is actually going to happen, because there's been some other announcements of things that are probably not going to happen. Like there was that there's going to be a My Friend Pedro TV show. That's not going to happen. That's just no. Who's going to watch that? That's going to be optioned and it's not going to get picked up. But something that has already been picked up because it's Amazon and they announce stuff when they know they're going to make it, is a Fallout television program or television style program, because it is going to be on Amazon Prime. No real information, because it was just they just showed the please stand by, everything that you'd normally see from Fallout.
It's
all that stuff.
It's gonna be developed by the people who made Westworld. I don't
that
know.
Is correct.
I don't know if the writers or everyone. I don't know who's specifically involved with that, but that's a thing they're billing it as. Oh yeah, if you've seen Westworld, you can trust this. But again, it's not much information beyond that. I don't know if they're gonna base it off the games or like the storylines off of the games, or are they gonna make something new and original? Right? Unclear, but alas, it seems to be actually happening. Yeah. So, interesting. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't feel anything about this.
just leave it there.
It happened. And I guess one last thing is this one is honestly kind of hilarious.
Yeah, speaking of Amazon.
Yeah, so Crucible is a game that I'm sure not that many people are even really aware of it existing, because at least probably in our group, our type of audience. So I barely was aware of it.
Yeah, I didn't even know it came out.
I was only aware of it because Solon had mentioned it, because Solon knows some people who work at Amazon Game Studios, because he's in Seattle. But they released it on May 20th, and the game did not meet expectations, or nobody really liked it. So they decided to not release it anymore. They decided to put it into open beta instead.
I don't understand.
I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. They say that they're going to try to update things and make a 2.0 version.
Second of all, none of us knew it. Their big problem was, why was there no advertising for this game? What? Again, I did not know. Half of us don't know it exists, and I didn't think this was releasing that soon. I was aware of it, but yeah, that's what happens. And hey, I don't quite understand. You're Amazon, you can kind of do whatever with it, but I guess that's that for the 3 people who did play it.
God, I'm looking at these character designs and they are so fucking boring. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're kind of generic. They're kind of emblematic of everything we've seen so far.
It's
they're
just
every trope.
A white military dude.
Yeah.
Robot. Big guy with Gatling gun. Tan lady. Animal. It's just the most basic fucking designs that every single other game has. God, mix it up. Come on. So yeah, of course, nobody cares about it. And honestly, I doubt that anyone will care about it after it comes out of open beta for the second time. So, good luck with that, Amazon. Not really. Not good luck. No, good luck to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say much for like if this is how like Amazon Game Studios is starting off. It's not great. This is not a great first impression. Who knows where we're
Nope. So anything else you want to fill us in on, Alvi?
In terms of news or
anything?
Anything? Okay,
really.
well, Animal Crossing is back. Well, it never left. It's more like hype for it kind of died down a little bit. Understandable because you know a lot of things have been happening and people are just kind of like drawing their attention to other things. No biggie. I don't think interest in Animal Crossing never died, but activity for it definitely like lowered exponentially. But then things have gone completely feral again, very scary. And so, because there has been a major update, you know, very different from the last update. And you know, if I were to backtrack a little bit, I will not. I won't talk about the previous update, which was not really an update, but rather event. Right. At the start of June, Animal Crossing had like a wedding event, and that's like a little weird. It's like okay, okay, Animal Crossing pushing weddings on its players, but the whole point is, you know, it was trying to be a cute thing. It was trying to make players use the little photo studio feature more, or like, you know, force people to kind of understand it for those who haven't used it before, in which there's a separate little island in New Horizons in which you can use to basically, you know, set up your furniture flexibly in any space and use your amiibo and like other NPCs to like pose them, and just if you want to purely take cute photos without messing up your house and having to go through that labor of like putting it all together again, that's like what that is for. And for the wedding event, they returned the characters Reese and Cyrus, who were in New Leaf, who were there as like kind of the furniture sellers, your furniture crafts couple. And because now New Horizons kind of has like its own built-in mechanic about, you know, like with its own crafting system, there really is no real purpose for these characters anymore, so to speak. So this is kind of, I guess, their solution for reintroducing these characters. And I think they outright saying again when you meet them on this like little photo shoot island, they say like, oh, it's their wedding anniversary. So I guess like in New Leaf they were newlyweds, sure, but they literally say it's their 1 year wedding anniversary. So they just want help on taking, you know, cute little wedding anniversary photos, and that's what you do. So the whole event is like introduces this cute little wedding set where you have like, you know, the whole pews, you have like bouquets, you have like all this cute decoration where like there's other color palettes too, where so it's not just white and pink and all that. And the incentive to do it every day was so you can get these points to exchange it to get more of those items. And alas, you just have a whole month only to do that, up to July. And throughout each day, the theme would change, and you would have to follow basically the instructions to like meet the requirements to pass the event, etc. And at some point, yeah, you can introduce like amiibo and other NPCs to like have a full-on cute shoot and whatnot. The big problem with that event, like many people have found, was like after a weekend or even like a few days in, like it's really repetitive because there isn't much variety in terms. Yeah, there isn't much variety in terms of like what else can you do. So it's at a certain point you're just filling the room with furniture to meet that criteria, and then you just pass. You know, like at some point you stop putting effort into the photos, and it's like, yeah, whatever. I just want the points, which are heart crystals, to exchange to get the furniture pieces. So that was kind of like a big flaw with it. You know, I don't know what else they could have done with it, but I thought, you know, like the items are cute nonetheless. So July is now here, and a big major update to the game is that Nintendo has reintroduced the diving feature in Animal Crossing, which was a feature they introduced in New Leaf. And for me, at first, I was like, you know, why wasn't this like a feature by default? Because you're literally on an island. You know, that kind of makes sense to have swimming. But then I realized, you know, like, okay, I think with the game having had delays initially to begin with its development and eventual release, I can see why it might have been a tricky thing for them to figure out and debug, because the introduction of terraforming in the game probably was a huge thing, and I don't know, that could have been like a huge problem when it came to figuring that out, in which, you know, your character is able to explore past the water barrier and like find stuff. So how the feature works like a New Leaf, you need like a diving suit or some sort of swimsuit to basically just hop off at any point where, you know, the shoreline is, and your character can reach up to a certain point and just swim around, and that's it. And then you can dive down to find items or like other creatures to add to the museum, and it's just this cute little thing to add like more activity to do around. And it seems like there's more swimsuit options too, which is nice. But you have to unfortunately wait and see like what you can buy at the shop, etc. I'm not sure if they're customizable yet. I'm not sure. What's nice is that you can have like other players on your island as you're swimming and stuff. So that's also a neat thing. In doing this, they also reintroduced the NPC Pascal, who's a sea otter. Or was he a river otter? I don't know. He's an otter of some sort, but he's like a hippie, like totally stoned out of his mind otter. Where, and again, he's not consistently there, but it seems like if you find a scallop, it will definitely attract his attention. I'm not sure what he'll do from there, but usually in past games he would just space out and give you some strange life lesson, and he's very good. He's a very good creature. And another NPC they introduced, well, not quite a full new NPC. It seems like there's a version of Gulliver where he's a pirate, and his name is still Gulliver.
Like Bolivar?
Yeah, no. Oh, that's a missed opportunity. Wow. But I haven't encountered him yet. The teaser didn't really show much, but it's not clear if it's the same Gulliver or if it's just Gulliver and he's like an amnesiac or whatever. It's one of those things where there's like Gulliver had multiple forms throughout the games, and it's not really. It's really ambiguous as to whether or not that's the same character. But so that's what's going on with Animal Crossing. That's kind of like a big deal because I think a lot of people had that same question as I did, where like you're on an island, how come we don't have swimming like we did in the last game, right? So that's fun. I saw a lot of people are kind of hopping back into the game with something new to do. So there's that. We're still. All of you, listen, you should be still, like paying attention to stay-at-home orders anyway, so,
right.
It's not safe out there, I assure you. Or, if you go out, cover yourself, that's important, be courteous debtors. But, yeah, Animal Crossing community back in high spirits. Again, there's something new to do, because, things were kind of getting stale, right? Another new thing, kind of not in-game, but kind of in the meta of the game, I would say, how the Animal Crossing Twitter accounts have been very active, and, I think with the update, a recent thing they have done is Isabelle. Isabelle has announced she's doing the account takeover. She's done that before for like New Leaf. She's like going to be the face of the account for a bit. And it's very interesting because I didn't expect this, but a lot of comments were really upset people. A lot of people seem to hate Isabelle now, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. I know, right? Like, I'm not sure where that's coming from. Very odd, very odd. A lot of people were like, I don't know, it's very mean. I'm like, what? What has she done? She's just a cute dog. And a lot of people were saying like, oh no, we want Nook back. Like, that's very interesting how that conversation around Nook being a capitalist or not, like, just kind of transformed into this, where people love him a lot now. And then now, all of a sudden, we have this aggression towards Isabelle. I don't know.
They're going to just miss Isabelle when Nook comes back. What's going to go on?
I don't know. Animal Crossing fans are feral, as I've said earlier. Like, it's not great. Right. I don't know what's going on here. There's something in the something in the waters. Jeez. Like, calm down. I don't know. It's weird. I was surprised. I was like, what is going on? I thought everyone loved this dog. But alas, Animal Crossing community never change.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess?
Nah. I think this was mentioned before, like in some cast, where Animal Crossing fans always find the next animal they just want to vent their anger on for some reason. Some poor creature that just did not like expect it, and now it's just Isabelle right now, I guess, who encompasses as a mascot for the game series lately.
I mean, I think the only thing that would kind of make sense is just like I think a lot of people were sick of her like the daily announcements thing.
I think that's what it is mostly, from my understanding. Yeah. Where she never
actually tells you anything.
Yeah, she doesn't really tell you anything, and the bulletin board's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really helpful though when there's a major update like this and she says something new. But it's like every week she loses her sock. I'm like, oh man, do you have socks left? I mean, you don't even wear shoes. No. I don't quite understand why you're losing these socks.
She's purposefully losing them because she doesn't want them
need
anymore.
Them. I mean, I'm glad though that she's it seems like she loves her family. I'm glad she's keeping in contact with him. She's always mentioning like, oh yeah, I called my mom the other day. I'm like, oh, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But go on now. Like, what? She's not doing anything that bad.
Any last things before we move on?
No, not really, I would say. Nothing that significant, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is more a story for Rose and them, but you know what? I'm actually a little invested in this too, because Final Fantasy XIV's latest patch has been delayed once again. I was actually going to give it a try.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
but that's a really bad thing, right? Because that sets back a whole like timeline, especially for an online game like that. Is that not the issue?
So Yoshi P came out and said that this pushes back pretty much everything. They said that that things will still be out about 3.5 months after each patch from now on, but it just seems like there will be some difficulties getting that out. They specified a date, August 11th, and that is when I'm trying to see what they are adding. It doesn't say exactly what they're adding, but I do know that they are like restructuring the beginning of the game because the beginning is very much just like that whole padded like, oh, here's the most generic possible missions for an MMO. You just got to go out and kill 20 of these things and kill 5. It's all that, and everyone's like, oh, it gets good later. It gets good later. Now it seems like they're trying to make it consistently good for new players. So you get in and it's still good content up until you get to when the content is really good.
I think specifically with properly aligning it with what happens in the story, especially for certain, like, not really say twists, but rather like more like fleshed out things that happen later on that become more clear as to what's the bigger picture.
It just sounds like they're going to trim the fat.
Yeah, it's very interesting how that initial base game is so different from what I'm hearing compared to like everything else that happens after. It's very fascinating how a game like that improved so much exponentially.
Yeah,
just from not even that much huge of an overhaul, but just a huge change in direction at least, right?
Well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else, or should we move on to questions?
No, again, nothing really new. I would say though, so like with everything like being at home and a lot of people now using online services to communicate with each other and having to depend on that, and potentially that just being a permanent thing here and out, right? It's Discord has had a dramatic rebranding recently, so anyone who uses Discord, probably most of our listeners and and us here, right? If you ever like booted up the thing and for the first time in a long bit, you're gonna notice like an interesting new like little pop-up explaining that, and it seems like Discord might be like expanding into a potentially different direction at some point. I'm not going to be surprised, but at least so far we're seeing that they're trying to remove like the gamer trademark stuff associated, because they're now trying to cater more towards non-gamer audiences and to more of a general audience. Like if you look at their website, it seems like some of their examples, it's like very cute illustrations, but some of the examples they put out is like, oh yeah, students using it to like work together in like school groups or something, or just like actual like professional people just using it for their jobs, company, etc., as opposed to like other services like their competitors, like like Google Groups or like Slack, which are more corporate. So yeah, it's interesting where that's gonna head, because they've been getting like higher numbers more than ever because of this. So yeah, just something. Which is something to look out on. I'm curious as to where they would go, especially on a corporate level. Like, I'm very curious if they're going to have, like, a corporate version of Discord, or they're just going to keep at it with being consistent in terms of, like, this is what we are, and we're going to offer multiple, we're going to cater to different audiences, But, yeah, it seems like they're trying to veer away from their quote-unquote gamer kind of branding into something more general for everyone. But, yeah.
Well, then we're gonna have to find somewhere else to record this, because I can't share a chat service with normies. We have to find the next gamer,
right? Yeah.
The next gamer chat.
Got to pivot back to AOL Messenger.
Oh boy,
which I don't think exists anymore.
No, because then Niall would be using it. It's a strange time, but. We're all working together, so hey.
Yeah.
It's for the best, I guess. you want to move on to questions?
Questions.
All right, we got a good amount of them, so let's get into it. If you want to send in a question, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these fine folks right here. Anonymous asks, do y'all eat your Wheaties with or without the shell? I don't know what that means.
What? What prompted this question?
I don't know what that means.
Wait, Wheaties? That's a cereal, right? Wheaties?
Like frosted wheats. Wheaties.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the one where they, like, have athletes on it. It's a cereal they always have, like, an athlete on it.
Yeah.
I don't eat Wheaties, but I didn't realize the shell was a separate part. What? Are they not just, like, corn? Yeah, they're, like, just wheat flakes. They're just corn flakes or something, or wheat flakes.
I don't know what they're talking about. I did click on the Wheaties Wikipedia page, and there's just a specific section that just says, recently, sales of Wheaties in the U.S. have declined significantly, and, like, that's all it says. So, great.
Well, I guess I eat them without the shell because it sounds like, if I were to eat a cereal like this, I would eat it without the shell because that seems like the shell is inedible. I don't eat
Wheaties.
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat Wheaties, but I'm just saying rhetorically for myself, if I eat Wheaties, but again, I don't eat Wheaties like you, so, I guess the shell is I don't know, I guess I wouldn't eat it with the shell. Normally, you don't eat foods that have a shell with the shell, because the shell is not edible, so I'm assuming that's the same here.
Who will be the first gamer to be on Wheaties?
Are
do you think it's
Wheaties,
going to be Ninja,
alive?
or is it? Do you think it'll be Ninja, or do you think it'll be someone not racist?
I don't know. That's a tricky thing. Now, Wheaties here has a statement about, ending racial inequality, so I don't know. But again, I don't know if that's just a hollow one, or if that's, like, sincere. I mean, it seems like they have like a wordy, diverse array of, like, different athletes on their cover, like, historically from what I'm seeing here. But, who knows?
Look, Wheaties, we're on to you. Don't put Ninja on the cover. Put someone else.
God.
I don't know who else it would be, but just, I don't fucking know.
I don't know, this question makes me think Wheaties are alive, and that's concerning. Like, they were living...
That is concerning.
Like, seafood. Seafood has, there's a lot... there's different sea creatures that have shells, and, like, you would not eat the shell, like a mussel or something. You would eat it out of the shell. So, I don't know. I would not eat it with the shell. I guess that's my answer. Overall. What is
your shellfish of choice?
Oh, what? What's my shellfish of choice?
Yeah.
I mean, scallops are pretty safe, it's just kind of... It's very basic, but...
No, that's fine, yeah. I'm a mussels guy. I like mussels.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
It's because I go to Italian places sometimes, you get the mussels as a appetizer,
Yeah, scallops are pretty... Scallops are pretty good. It's, like, nice when it's mixed in with something, like in a paella or something. Like, with rice. Right. Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
It doesn't have a... Like, all seafood has a very specific taste, but I think it's something more versatile where you can mix it in a lot of things where it wouldn't be weird.
Sure.
Shrimp has a distinct shrimp taste. I would not, like...
Oh, I can't stand shrimp.
Oh, Ugh. Really? I love shrimp, but it's not something I would put in everything, so it's, like, less of a...
Yeah, no, I have to, like, specifically, like, if I'm going over to my mom's place for something, I have to, like, call her up and be like, Ma, please, do not make shrimp, because she'll make shrimp scampi sometimes. Like, don't fucking make shrimp scampi, because then it's going to make the whole house smell like shrimp scampi, and I'm just going to be sitting there, like, for, like, the rest of the night.
Yeah, shrimp has a specific smell, too, when cooked, yeah. It's like, the shrimp are back. They're here.
Like, other shellfish, like, maybe I'm not, like, a big fan of it, but I can at least handle it.
Yeah.
Not shrimp. No. Mm-hmm. Please do not. Alright, next question, also from Anonymous, asks... When will Delgo get an animated series, and frankly, is the world ready for such a thing? No and no. They killed him. He's dead. He's not coming back.
They killed the spirits of the people who made Delgo.
That is also true.
I don't think anyone wants to touch it with, like, a 10-foot pole at this point.
Absolutely
People
not.
saw that, I was like, oh, this is a failure, we're not gonna... for anyone who wants to make a Delgo anime, it's definitely going to be some sort of strange, like, niche fan-supported initiative.
I mean, it's just going to be Scott. Like, let's be real. It's just Scott's
funding it,
Scott's
producing it, even making it, maybe, yeah.
Like, it's just one day Scott's going to win the lottery, and that's when it's going to happen. Like, there's no other option. It's just that.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, I think Delgo is a dream to the mainstream world, but somewhere around here, which again might just be Scott, someone out there who'll make that dream happen, I guess, but I don't see that anytime soon.
I mean, Delgo is technically owned by Disney now, so that's the really fucked up thing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because he's a Fox movie, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's a Disney property now. Next question here. Why did they make Diane Keto a MILF in her new retrain? So I think I talked about this a little bit.
I also know that card. I think I had that card at some point in my life too. When I saw that, I was very confused, and I didn't realize that was the same character. That is really weird. Someone wanted that, so
it's very strange. So for those of you unaware, we were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Diane Keto, the Cure Master. Back in the day, she was just like this old lady.
Yeah, she's she just looks like sweet, like grandma, basically. Yeah.
And I say this not as a derogatory thing. I say this in a kindly way. She had lunch lady vibes, like very much like, you know, the lunch lady that you would like love to like every day you'd come in, you'd be like, hey Miss Keto, what's up? You know, and she'd be like super nice. She'd make sure that she'd be like, don't worry, today we got applesauce, you know, like that kind of thing. She knows, she like remembers what sides you like, that kind of lunch lady.
She was very specifically like the look of a character that looks maternal. Like that's that energy you're radiating from, but like in a totally like I said, in a very grandmotherly weird way.
Yes, but now she's a MILF, and it's specifically
she looks younger. She looks younger.
Yeah. She looks like she's in her, like, 40s now, like, early 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't in the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. This is in the Rush Duels, and we're dipping a little bit into our other podcast here. We're gonna give you a little free taste, I suppose. I've not watched the episode yet, but I guess in a recent episode there was a character that just uses, like, a rock band, like, archetype of cards, and all the, like, it's like a girl band. And all the girls in the band are all, like, old monsters. Like, I think Mystical Elf is in the band, and, like, some... I don't know the other ones. I just remember Diane Keto and Mystical Elf. But, yeah, like, the other ones just look like how they were back then, but they made Diane Keto, like, a 40-year-old MILF instead of, a grandma. And it's like... I don't know. I guess people they wanted to market Diane Keto. They wanted to make people horny for her, and they were like, "Well, we can't do that with the grandma," which is against what they did in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. So we watched fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. One of the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX had a card crush on her. They thought that she was the hottest character in the game. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Cyrus. The small one, the short one. I think he was into Diane Keto, or no, because he was into Dark Magician Girl. I don't remember. Oh, it was Chumley. It was the guy who looked like a koala. That's who was into Diane Keto. That's right. So
dang.
So they didn't have to, like, they're playing to the lowest common denominator, because, you know, there's somebody out there, someone loves Diane Keto, someone would be into her no matter what. So just, you know, keep her old lady. She could have been a rock star as an old lady. That would have been cool. Yeah, come on. Diane Keto, the rock master. Let's do it. Anyway, yeah, that's just another point against Rush Duels. more reason, you know? Ugh, disappointing. Anonymous asks, do you think they'll actually change the awful camera angles for the new Crash game? I mean, it seems like it's just going to be like those old games, so I feel like if you didn't like those old games, you probably won't like this one. So
yeah,
no.
I didn't, like, for a game like that, it just kind of sticks around. That's kind of, I guess, the charm of it.
it looks the same. So I don't know. All right. Let's see here. Skull Castle number 4, also known as Cello Buster on the Discord server, asks, when I was in 5th grade, my homeroom teacher's name was Megan. Which, that's already kind of interesting that the teacher went by a first name, but I will continue. One time while in class, I raised my hand to ask her a question, but instead of calling her by her name, I accidentally called her Mega Man. What was your most memorable / embarrassing moment of gaming, interfering / colliding with your real life?
I want to know what the response was, though. Like, what happened then?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you gotta fill us in there.
Yeah, we need an update, though. Like, what was the response?
Yeah.
I can't think of any. Like, I guess if I had any embarrassing moment, I probably forgot it, right? Like, that's just something that's like, I didn't want to remember that. In terms of related to gaming, I can't think of one right now.
Okay.
But let me see. Let's see if I can, like, churn something up in these next few minutes. But I don't know. I can't think of one, like, related to gaming specifically.
I mean, for me personally, I just know that sometimes I will, it's usually just without thinking, I will, like, relate, like, real life events or, you know, like, different things to game mechanics in a sense that, like, you know, like, it's just in really dumb, embarrassing ways that, like, if it's just to me, it wouldn't be a big deal, but, like, I just think about how, I'm trying to think of an example, there's people talk about the Tetris effect or wanting to, like, put boxes into ways that look like Tetris blocks and all that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's just stuff like that where, like, I will, I'll think about a game thing in relation to something else. And, you know, yeah, it's hard for me to think of a specific thing. But, you know, there are definitely times where I'm just like, oh my god, why am I thinking about a game mechanic in this situation? Like, why? Like, I don't know. Again, I can't really think of, but you know, it's like it's just little things that, like, slip out of your mouth. You know, like, for example, like, maybe I don't know if I would do it, but it was just like probably when I was a kid. When I learned about hail in real life, I probably learned about that in Pokemon first. So I was like, oh, that's like the Pokemon thing. You know, there's a lot of things where I will hear of something in a video game and then have that associated with it forever in my mind once I hear about it in real life. That's basically what I have.
Yeah, for a long time for me, I'm realizing now, for a long time for me, I kept mixing up, like a long time, I kept mixing up 7, 8, and 9. Like, I kept... Whenever I referred to those games, I would be referring to, like, another character from a different game, like that you know, the wrong numerical.
Oh, so, Final Fantasy, you mean?
Yeah, okay. So, like, I would say something like, you know, Squall Leonhardt, you know, from Final Fantasy VII, which is totally wrong, you know, something like that. Like, I for some reason mixed up those 3 games often, and I wouldn't be surprised if I still have done that recently, even though unintentionally. But just something about those 3 numbers before we hit 10. Is a problem in my brain in terms of, like, knowing these are 3 different games with 3 different cast of characters very distinctly, yet I just jumbled those 3 in particular for some reason, because I guess, I don't know, just something about those 3. But yeah, like, I would just refer to the wrong number or the wrong character in the wrong game when it comes to those 3.
Sure. All right. I guess we could do a different question here, and maybe proceed. Let's see here. Anonymous asks, how are folks feeling about Twitch drop games like Ubisoft's new Battle Royale as a way to engage audiences into earning their free game? So, I think this is, you know, talking about similar to Valorant did this, where you have to watch the stream of a, like, partnered streamer to get a code to play the beta of a game. Like, they did that with Valorant, and they're doing that with the new Ubisoft game.
God, they've been doing that a while in a way, right?
I mean, like, they did it with Valorant, and they did it with this game, and, you know, it pumps up the numbers on Twitch, and it makes it a bigger deal than it would be originally, and it's not like it's legal or it's not like, but it does still feel kind of scuzzy because it makes the game. It's like an astroturfing thing in a way. It's just like we're making people watch this so they could try it, and even if they don't end up liking it, they're still inundated with the game for a while until they're able to try it. And at that point, you've been at that point in a way you've become like inducted into the culture.
Like, a lot of times when influencers do advertising or streamers, whatever, like, all those people in that category, they're kind of usually doing it in their own accord, at least in terms of, like, I know that I'm showing out for something, like, I know, like, this is a paid post. And, like places like Instagram, they at least have a terms now where it's, like, you have to make it clear this is an advertised post. You can't just be, like, pretending this is a normal post you're doing. You're obviously, like, shilling for a product here, right? At least a lot of times they're kind of doing it on their own accord. They're like, they're being paid by product, and like but this is outright like Twitch doing it itself and endorsing that and like paying like their selected content creators too. So that's also like asks another question of like who gets to be the content creator or like the other the person who has that privilege of doing that or like getting the views and in reaction to that, that's another thing. So it is pretty scuzzy in that regard. Like, where I don't know where the agency is in this, right? Like again, I don't know how to properly feel about it because it's something that's very new. I think I would, if for me, I think to have a proper opinion, I do need to I do think I need to see this in another example of it, right? But I think with my first impressions of it, it's definitely a little weird because I think it's Twitch themselves endorsing it and not necessarily like just that streamer in particular or player just doing it on their own card. Because like again, like YouTube too, like you have like a lot of these like gamer YouTubers who also like give like codes and stuff, but they're just doing it. It's not like YouTube is saying like, here, we're gonna choose you to do this. We're gonna have you endorse like our product. Like I don't know. It is like a complicated thing because it's very new, I think, still.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got one last question here, and again, send them in videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. This one's from Harlequin Wheels. Hi, Wheels. If you were in charge of marketing for a game that everyone or just you really wants to happen, but had to make a really weird, elaborate ARG to hint at its announcement, what would the game be, and what would be either the first or last hint be?
Wow. Like an existing game or a game we're making up?
Something you want. So, I mean, I guess a sequel, because it's got to be something that you're, like, hyped up about before. Like, something that you'd be like, oh my god, they're making a new one of those, So I guess just... But you're in charge of marketing, and you have to make an ARG. What game would it be, and what kind of hints would you make?
Oh, man.
I mean, I think I would just... I mean, I would love if Mega Man Legends 3 happened... and I just think, like, you know what? That game is all about hunting treasure. I would say just have a big treasure hunt, Just, like, set it up so a bunch of people have to travel around, solve puzzles, hunt down treasure, and then I would think the last thing that people would dig up would be, like, a Servbot head, because then once they dig up a Servbot head, it'd be like, oh, that's what it is! It's Mega Man Legends, and... I think that would be really fun to have just like a big treasure hunt for Mega Man Legends 3.
I want to comment on like, especially with recent news that, the World Ends With You's getting an anime. That's actually kind of coming up soon. And there's like a missed opportunity there. And I guess because it was released at such an early time period where it was not like the social media landscape was very different. There's a missed opportunity there to do like weird social media args with that like game, especially a game like that. Actually, I've been, this is something I forgot to mention. I've been recently playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and like similarly, it kind of has a similar backdrop in terms of that. Like they're very different games and for different reasons, but like they have a similar backdrop in where they're clearly taking place in the modern world, and this is like a ripe time to engage with people on a social media level and like have like a fake character, like have someone fake role playing like a character from that game and engaging with people. And I think like a neat, easy thing to do would be like having like some sort of code at the end where like someone has to submit it or like scan it somewhere or like and then it will lead them to like what the game is, but
right.
I think a lot about like how AI Somnium Files had like a whole YouTube channel like setting up the game before it was released. Like, the
I
whole
was
like
gonna mention that.
yeah.
The AI Twitter accounts are still active. Like,
Yeah,
fucking,
like, what the-
like, it's so bizarre. Like, what's her name? The idol girl. I'm blanking on her name.
Iris.
Yeah, Iris has a Twitter account that is, like, the most generic, just, like, celebrity Twitter account where it's just like, oh, I'm going out today. What are you doing today?
Post a vague picture, too, of, like, what is... Yeah.
Yeah, but then the fanboy, again, I am blanking on his name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he also has a Twitter account where he's just like a weeb. Like he's like he posts like thirst replies on her tweets, but then it's just like, yeah, I'm going to pick up some anime figurines. I hope nobody thinks I'm gonna nut on them. Like, it's just like, oh my fucking god! Like, this is like an official Twitter account. Like,
for a game that's like a year old at this point too. It's I don't know. I wonder too, like, if they're hyping up something new related to the game, or if there's something adjacent to it where, Spike Tunes Labs like making something new too, where that's maybe not necessarily having to do with Somnium Files, but maybe a new game entirely. So I don't know. That is very curious that they're like keeping up with that, like, because there's no really reason to.
It could just be the whatever intern or social media person at Spike Chunsoft is just bored as shit, and they're just like, I'll tweet from the Iris account, whatever.
Yeah, I still got the permissions to it. Might as well.
Who cares? Not like anyone told me to stop. So I'm still getting paid for it. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, God bless them.
Right.
It's very funny.
It's pretty impressive, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think that does it for this week's show. Elvie, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, no problem. You are welcome.
Do you want to talk about where people can find you?
Well, simple way is you can find me on Twitter at LVMayParian, and literally you just put the letters LNVMAEPARIAN at Twitter. That's it. Mm. That's where you can find me, and other things. If you're curious about finding me in other places, it's likely all just channeled in there. So hey, easy. Right. Yeah.
Hey, you go for it on social media. You're sharing your stuff. You're good at that.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's just easy that way. Just keep it contained. You don't gotta spread it out. Some people spread it out too much and like, I can't find you. I don't know where you are.
Of course. As for me, it's at JOHN_MICHONSKI. And folks, I didn't mention it earlier, but it's my birthday month. It's the month of Machonsky. It's coming up. I don't know how long.
It is time.
I don't know how long I'm going to keep it up, but I've been posting Machonsky topics every day. Like, today it was fear, because, I used to be scared of lightning, and now, we're all scared of probably a lot of the same things, but also spiders. I've always been scared of spiders. Spiders are scary, no matter how old you are.
They have too many legs.
Absolutely.
Too many legs. They are helpful, though. They are supposedly good for your house, yeah.
As an adult, I have become more, I guess, accepting of them. But at the same time, I'm still scared shitless. I don't want to get bit. Like, as I was growing up, I still agree with this. I still wish this. I wish that I could just like project this aura from myself to all animals that is just like, I do not want to hurt you. I will not like, like, I want it to be like, spiders, don't bite me because I won't kill you. If I know for a fact that the spider will not bite me, I will not hurt them. Like, I don't care. It's fine. I just want to exude that aura. I want to be like one with the animals. That would be my superpower. It wouldn't I wouldn't even want it to be like, oh, I'm gonna fight crime with them or whatever. Like, I just want to be able to just
want animals
coexist.
To leave you alone.
It could be a friendly thing too. Like, if I knew for a fact that no spider would bite me, I'd be hanging out with spiders all the time. Are you kidding me? I'd be hanging out with all kinds of animals.
You are right though. I feel like some people with superpowers, like their priorities are not like their priorities are out of whack. Like listen, if I had superpowers, I would just want like no mosquito to ever touch me ever again. Like, come on, I cannot deal with that.
Don't come to Florida. Don't come down
shockingly,
here.
like the times I've been there recently, like not super recently, but just the last time I was there, I've been not bugged in at all. I was shocked. I was very impressed by it, but I don't know. I guess that was just on the area I was in.
You went to like the Disney area, right?
Yeah, the tourist trap. I mean, I was around Tampa in general too.
Okay, well, all right. Because I was gonna say like they like Disney straight up has like.
Yeah, they have some weird twisted technology that keeps bugs away. I don't know what's going on there.
It's probably not good for the world, but you know.
Yes, it's definitely like.
Much like everything that Disney does, it's probably not good for the world, but it makes for a great theme park experience.
Yes. Comes with it. It's the package.
Yes. Alright. Well, I think that's it for that. Of course, you can follow Video Game Choo Choo at VGChooChoo. That's our Twitter. We got our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We got a Facebook page, which, you know, you can follow that on Facebook. You just search up Video Game Choo Choo. We have our YouTube channel. Search that up as well. Got our Discord server, which, you know, I guess your parents can join it now, because it's for everybody. If you want to join, it's thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. Don't actually bring your parents to there, because there will be so many things that I'll have to explain to them. Like, what anime is. I don't want to have to explain that to anybody. That's just something that you should experience by yourself, and let it ruin your own life.
Yes, it's a rite of passage.
Also, thank you so much to Melt Channel for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com, or you can listen to their new stuff, Magic Circuit, on Spotify. Hell, you can actually listen to Melt Channel stuff on Spotify as well. I was driving around a little bit a while ago, and Crush off the album Magic is Real came up on my Scrabble, on my shuffle. Let me tell you, it is pretty wild hearing, like, your website's theme song just while you're driving around and just like, man, that's us.
Yeah, like, hey, I know that jingle. Yeah.
that's me, and that's everybody else. Yeah. It's a good feeling, though. It's a legit good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, if you want to send us some money, first off, I would ask you to spend that money on charity, because we are still in a rough time. I do think that it would be smart to spend that money elsewhere. But if you do have $3 after donating to bail funds and educating yourself on how the world works, go ahead to patreon.com/VGCC, and for $3 a month, you will get brand new episodes of Chuchigatra Unlimited Train Works with myself and LV, as well as Rose, where we talk about anime every 2 weeks. And also, the Sekiro Let's Play, and I'm gonna try to edit the Doom LP. That's something that I'm gonna try to do. It's probably gonna be a little rough, because this is the first thing that I've ever edited in a major way. But hey, this is a learning experience, so please don't hurt me. You can tell me what I fucked up, but hey, be nice. And that's it. If you're, is there anything else you want to say, Alfie, or should we just?
No, I think you. Okay. I think you summed it up. You know, I think just to reiterate, like, if you're going out there, stay safe. You know, cover your face. It's dangerous out there.
Yes.
Be courteous, be kind to service workers. You know, there's, you know, go for pickup and delivery. Don't stay inside there. Don't make them. There's some rancid pictures of waiters having to wear face shields because some people think it's yeah. Like, come on, don't be that person. Don't partake in that nonsense. Like, come on, just be courteous and be kind. And yeah, if you're participating in any sort of, you know, we're recording this on like the weekend entering America's July the 4th. Yeah. So, you know, like, you know, there's things to be grateful for, but then there's things to also be really angry about, like, justifiably. So, you know, as we mentioned, like, if you're not patroning us, like, yeah, send your money, put your money where your mouth is, and like find a place maybe you can spend that on a charity in some way or some initiative. And if you're going out there to take some initiative or still protesting, yeah, like I said, just stay safe.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, go for it. We support you. We likely will support you. from this distance, and
Yes.
that's kind of like the mantra. I think like our whole collective is about we do support all this Black Lives Matter and always will, right? Yeah, just be safe out there.
Yes. And of course, we will be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long, everybody.